10th plus 2வில் ஒவ்வொரு ஆண்டும் தொடர்ந்து மாநில அளவில் பல சாதனைகளை புரிந்து வரும் நாமக்கல் குறிஞ்சி கல்வி நிறுவனங்களில் சிபிஎஸ்இ பாடத்திட்டத்தில் சீனியர் செகண்டரி பள்ளியாக தரம் உயர்த்தப்பட்டு ஐஐடி நீட் தேர்வுகளுக்கு பல வெற்றியாளர்களை உருவாக்கிய ஆசிரியர்களை முழு நேர ஆசிரியர்களாக பணியமர்த்தப்பட்டு தினம்தோறும் வகுப்புகள் நடைபெறும்.
குறிஞ்சி எஜுகேஷனல் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன், காவேட்டிப்பட்டி, நாமக்கல். Admission in progress. CBSE KG to 12. Contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12. Contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Dear students, in the last class, we have discussed all summer in a day. Already I told you what is the meaning of all summer in a day, and it was written by Ray Bradbury, and we have clearly discussed the biography of Ray Bradbury. Okay, so we are in the part 3 of the story. Okay, so till now what happened? The children were not agreeing what Margot said. What did Margot say? She said, I know about sun, and I know how it looks, and I know the color of the sun and shape of the sun. But what did the other children do? They rejected her. They said that you do not know. You have not seen the sun. You are lying, said all the children. But what happened? She said, no, I know it. So it's like a penny. Okay, it's like a penny coin. Okay, so penny is a currency coin used in England. Okay, so here she says it looks like a penny. What it looks? Sun looks like a penny. Okay, so I have seen it, she said. But what did all other children said? No, you have not seen. And Margaret said, the sun looks like a fire, she said. Okay, fire in the stove. The fire which comes out of the stove is called sun. That sun looks like in that shape, she said. And now all the children rejected her and saying, you are lying. You don't remember, cried the children. Okay, what do you mean by lying? Okay, so you are giving the false information, which is the sun looks like a penny, you are saying, but it doesn't look. And you are saying sun looks like a fire, but it doesn't. You are lying to us. All the children cried out. Okay, so that was we saw in the last class. And today, let's begin. Margot remembered and stood quietly from all of them and watched the patterning windows. Okay, what happened? Margot remembered, stood quietly from all of them, since all the children rejected what Margot said. But Margot remembered well about the sun's shape and the color of the sun. Since all the children rejected her, she stood very quietly, very calm. Okay, very in silent manner she stood. From what? From all of the children. And watched the patterning window. What do you mean by patterning windows? Patterning means regular windows, which means the regular shaped windows. Okay, usually the window has different shapes. Okay, but many of the windows are similar in a 90 or 80% house. Okay, so patterning windows means the regular patterning, the regular shaped windows. So on the Venus, okay, she was looking out of the regular shaped windows. Okay, now they are giving a flashback. And once a month ago, what happened? She had refused to shower in the school shower rooms and clutched her hands to her ears and over her head, screaming the water mustn't touch her head. Now, an incident is recalled by Ray Bradbury. Now, what is the incident? This incident refers to why these children hate Margot. Why do all the children hate Margot? So Ray Bradbury gives an incident. What is the incident? Usually the children have bath in school shower rooms. Okay. So she refused to have shower in the school shower rooms. So what did she do? She clutched her hands. What do you mean by clutched? Clutched means hold tightly. What does she holds? She holds her hands tightly and keeps on both the ears and sits and cries. Screaming means crying in loud manner. So what happens? She refuses to do it, to have bath in shower in the school shower rooms. Okay, she held her hands and caught her ears and screaming and telling the water mustn't touch her head. She shouts, "Don't pour the water on me." She shouts, "Don't let the water touch me, touch my head." She shouts. And what happened? After that, dimly, she sensed it. She was different from all others. And they knew her difference and kept away. So now only she realizes that she is different from all other children. What is the different? Usually on the Venus, all the children have bath in school shower rooms. They do not have fear about the bath. But what happened? Now Margaret gets afraid of this shower water. And she shouts, "Let the water not touch my head." And dimly she sensed means she realized. What she realized? She realized that she is different from all other children. And they knew. Who are these they? They refers to whom? The all other children. They also came to know that our difference kept away. This particular difference, not having bath in school shower room, kept her away from all the children. So all the children hated. Usually if you see the children's attitude, if they do not like what all other children like, the children will make the particular child to have in a distant place. So they never have a together. They never play together. So they keep the children away from them. In the same manner, what happened? Now, Margaret refuses to have bath as other children have. That's why she felt that she is different from us. So let us keep Margaret away. Next, what happened? There was a talk that her father and mother were taking her back to earth next year. It seemed vital to her that they do so, though it would mean the loss of thousands of dollars to her family. And so the children hated for all these reasons of big and little consequences. Now what happened? There is a flashback. See, you have to spend a lot of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars to travel to Venus. Okay, so you cannot reach Venus without spending so much of money. Okay, so now what happened? Now Margaret came to Venus. Okay, everybody is living, but again she want to go back to Earth because she is not seeing the sun, because on the Venus you can see the sun only once in 7 years. Only after 7 years only you can see the sun. So here what happened? Now she wants to go back to Earth. Okay, so thousands of dollars to her family. Now if she goes back to the Earth, she has to spend what? Thousands of dollars, and it is a big loss to the family. So that is the reason the children hated her. Okay, so for this particular reason, all the children hated her because she wants to go back to Earth, and including all these reasons of big and little consequences. For this big reason, and there are also some little consequences. What is this big reason? Let us say what is the big reason here? The big reason is going back to the Earth and spending thousands of dollars to go back to Earth from Venus. So this is the big reason. And what is a little consequences? Like consequences means what? Effect. Okay, some action had happened, and maybe there may be consequences comes out of that. And what is the little consequences? Let us say example of not having the bath in school shower rooms. So it is a little consequences, and big consequences is spending lot of dollars to go back to the earth. So for this reason, they hated Margaret. So they hated her pale snow face, her waiting silence, her thinness, and her possible future. So whom does this they refer to? This they refer to all the children. So all the children started hating her pale snow face. So her face looks like a pale snow, okay, very white in color. And her waiting silence, see, she always keeps in silent mood. She never talks more. So that's the reason here they say her waiting silence. A person who is very silent, very calm, is naturally hated by others, isn't it? Everybody wants to talk to the person. But if you do not reply to them, what will others will do? They will reject the person. In the same way, Margaret is very, very silent in her action. And her body is very thin. And her possible future, even her future is also what? Very thin. So now what we have seen in this, we saw that she is different from others through one incident. What is the incident? That is not having bath in school shower. And next is very big reason, that is she wants to go back to the earth, and she wants to spend a lot of money, dollars, and she wants to make loss to her family. For this reason, all the children hated. So that's why Ray Bradbury says there were reasons of big and little consequences. And how is her face? Her face is like a pale snow, and she always silent in mood, and she is very thin, and her future is also very thin. Okay, so that's what we have seen here. Next, get away, the boys gave. So all the boys shouted. What did they shout? Get away, the boy gave her another push. What are you waiting for? So we have in the first class we saw William. William is the one of the boys in the group, in the class, who hated Margaret. Maybe this boys refers to the groups. Okay, so get away, all the boys said. And said, what did he do? He pushed her and said, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting here, and what are you looking? He asked. And for the first time, she turned and looked at him, and what she was waiting for in her eyes. Okay. So when he asked, what are you waiting for? She replied for the first time, turned and looked at him. What she was waiting for was in her eyes. Now also she never talked. Okay, he asked, what are you waiting for here? Why are you standing here for a long time? And for the first time, she turned. Why he mentions here? So, why he emphasized she turned? Because she never turned to anybody's call. Okay, whoever calls, she never turns. She never gives any reply to anybody. That's why he emphasized she turned for the first time and she looked at him, she says. And what was? Now we can find why she was waiting for. Even for this time also she never talked. And we can find the reason only by looking at her eyes, not by replying. So that much very calm person the girl was. Now what happened? Well, don't wait here. Don't wait around here, cried the boy savagely. You won't see nothing. Her lips moved. So now what happened? The children said, don't wait around here. Why are you waiting here? Don't wait. So the boy savagely, what do you mean by savagely? Means aggressively, angrily. So the boy said angrily, don't wait around here, please go away, they said, and you won't see nothing. What are you waiting for? You cannot see anything here, so please go away, he said. Her lips moved like a wonder. Ray Bradbury says she never moved. Okay, and they replied that you won't see nothing. Why are you waiting for a long time? Please, you cannot see anything here. For the first time, our lips moved and answered. Nothing, he cried. Again, she did not answer. Only the boy said nothing, because before talking her, all the boys, the particular boy said nothing. It was all a joke, wasn't it? He turned to other children. The boy who said nothing, see, actually, she wants to reply. Okay, for a long time she did not reply, and she was about to reply. A boy suddenly said nothing. What she wants to say, the boy replied. Okay, and the boy said, nothing you can't see here, all jokes, she said. Nothing's happening today, isn't it? So the boy said, here nothing is going to happen. Why are you here? He turned to the other children. Nothing happening today. So the boy who said nothing, again he says to all the children, nothing's happening today. Nothing is going to happening today. Why are you all waiting? All they said. Now they all blinked at him, understanding, laughed. See, actually, what is the secret here is the sun is going to appear now. Okay. Now, somehow Margaret sensed the situation that the sun is going to appear. Okay. But the boy is trying to hide the fact that sun is not going to appear. And he says, nothing is going to happen. Why are you waiting here? But all other children know that sun is going to come out. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of this boy is, he wants to make fool of that Margaret. He wants Margaret not to know that sun is going to come out. That's why he says and turns to all other children, just blinked and making mock at Margaret. And all other children understanding the fact and laughing at him. Okay, and what did the reply of all the children? All the children shook their heads. So which means all the children know that today is going to happen something, that is the sun is going to come out. But they do not want Margaret to know the secret. That's why they play with the silent mood, that is blinking their eyes and mocking at this particular Margaret. Nothing, nothing. Oh, but Margaret whispered, her eyes helpless. But this is the day the scientists predict. They say they know the sun. Now what happens? For the first time, oh, but Margaret whispered. What do you mean by whispered? Whispered means talking in a silent noise. Okay, so she says nothing, nothing, but she whispered. And her eyes helpless. So her eyes are helpless. Nobody is there to help us because everybody hated her. But this day she knows, and she says, scientists predict. What do you mean by predict? Predict means to tell what is going to happen. So all the scientists predicted that today sun is going to come. And they say they know the sun is going to come. As she said. All a joke, said the boy. But what is the reply of the boy? All the boys replied, all a joke. You are joking. It's not going to happen, the boy said. And as soon as they know that she came to know the secret, okay, she came to know the secret, that is the sun is going to come out, they want to seize her. What do you mean by seize? Seize means capture. Capture means what? Bounding, okay, arresting her and roughly how she is seized. Seized means captured in a rough manner. Hey everyone, let us put her in a closet before the teacher comes. So what happens, all the boys give idea. What is the idea they are giving? Let us put her in the closet. What do you mean by closet? Closet means a tall cupboard. Okay, cupboard. Cupboard means, you know, we keep our saris and things, very important things we keep in the closed closet, and it is also called a tall cupboard. And one of the boy gives idea. Let us tie her and seize her, and let us put her in the closet. Nobody will know nobody will knows where she is. And what is happened before the teacher comes? Let us keep her in the cupboard closet before the teacher comes to the classroom. No, said Margaret, falling back. She replied, please don't do it. Please don't arrest me. Please don't seize me and put me into the closet. And she is falling back. And what did all other children do? They surged about her. What do you mean by surged? Surged means moved suddenly. All the children moved suddenly and caught her up, bore her, protesting, bleeding, crying back into a tunnel. What did all other children do? All other children do, they bore her, protesting, and then pleading, and then crying back into the tunnel, a room, a closet. What happened? This bore her means all the children suddenly moved and caught Margaret and bore her. Bore her means what? They carried her and protesting. What do you mean by protesting? She was rejecting. Who? Margaret was protesting against the children, those who are carrying her. And pleading means what? Requesting. Okay, crying, please leave me. Please don't put in the closet. And she's crying back into a tunnel room and closet. So everybody took her to the closet. Now what happened? Where they slammed and locked the door. What do you mean by slanged? Slanged means banged. Banged means strike at something. So where they slammed and locked the door. Now what happened? They closed the door and they put her in the closet. They stood looking at the door and saw it trembling from her, beating and throwing herself against her. Now what happened? She protested and she was crying, please leave me. But even though all the children put her in the closet. And where they slammed, locked at the door, saw it trembling. What do you mean by trembling? The door was shaking. Who was shaking? Margaret was inside the cupboard and she was hitting the door and she was shaking the door. That's why the door was trembling. Her beating, throwing herself against it. So she was beating the closet and she was making the noise against the door. And what did all other children do? All other children, they heard her muffled cries. What do you mean by muffled cries? The muted cries. Muffled means muted. Muted means what? They cannot hear, isn't it? So she is in the cupboard. The noise is not heard outside. That is why then all the children were outside. She is inside and the noise cannot go outside. That is why he says muffled cries. Muffled cry means muted cries. Okay. So what did all other children do? All other children smiling. They turned and went out and backed down the tunnel just as the teacher arrived. All other children were laughing. Okay. All other children were laughing at the suffering of Margaret. And they turned, went out, back down the tunnel. Again, since the teacher is going to come, all other children went back to the classroom. Okay, now the teacher arrived. The teacher is asking, ready children? She glanced at her watch. Ready children? She wants at her. Ready children? Are you ready? She glanced at her watch. She looked at her watch and she saw. Now the teacher arrived. Ready children? She asked. She glanced at her watch. Okay, by looking at her watch, she asked all the children, ready children? All the children replied, yes. Everyone, everyone is here. Are we all here? Okay. Now, what did all the children said? All the children said yes. Okay. Everyone replied yes. And again the teacher asked, are we all here? Again the reply is yes. So we are all here. All the children replied. The rain slacked still more. They crowded to the huge door. The rain stopped. So the rain, already we know that all the years, thousands of days, all the time on Venus, only rain, rain, rain. So there was no sun. It comes only once in 7 years. So now what she says, the raining is slacked. Slacked means what? Reducing. The amount of rain is reduced. The speed of the rain is reduced. They crowded. Who crowded? All the children crowded. To what? To the huge door. So there is an entrance with the huge doors was there. Okay. So suddenly the rain stopped. Why there is a secret is hidden? Why the rain is slacked? Because there is going to the sun is going to come there. The heat is going to occupy Venus planet. That is why the rain is slowly reducing. And all the children were already informed that today the sun is going to come. And they were all waiting at the huge door to see the sun. And suddenly the rain stopped. But what about Margaret? Margaret, where is she? Where is she now? She is in cupboard. What is the reason why all the children seized her and put her into the cupboard? What is the reason? The reason behind is all the children were envious towards Margaret. Why they were envious? Because she knows all the detailed about sun. She knows what is the color of the sun. She knows how it reacts, and she knows how its attitude. All the things Margaret knows. But what about the children? The children forgot about the details because they saw only once in 7 years. So they forgot all the reason. All the details they forgot. But Margaret remembered each and every detail. That's why she said, sun looks like a penny and it's like a fire, and a fire in the stove, she said. But nobody accepted that. Okay, so then they were envious towards her. They caught her roughly and they put into the closet. But even though the children were hiding the secret of the sun arrival, the girl Margot knows that sun is going to come today. She somehow predicted, and she knows that scientists predicted the sun's arrival. But what about the boy said? The boy said it's all joke. It is not true, he said. That is why he wants to make the fool of Margot, and he wants to put Margot into the cupboard, and all the children did not want Margot to see the sun on the planet. That's why they want to do the plan before the teacher comes to the classroom. So that's why. But what did Margaret do? She rejected and falling back. So all the children caught suddenly, and she was protesting and bleeding and crying, and everybody was taking her and put in the closet, and she was shaking and trembling the door, the closet. Okay, and but the outside, what did they hear? They heard only the muffled cries. That is a muted cries only they heard. All the children were smiling, and everybody went back down the tunnels because the teacher arrived. And she asked, children, are you ready? Everybody replied, yes. And again she asked, are we all here? And again everybody replied, yes. Suddenly the rain slacked, reduced, and again everybody crowded and waiting at the huge door. The rain stopped. Let us see what is going to happen in the next class.